Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Welcome to my office. This is where I spend most of my days. And really a great spot to be on location for our next topic, which is truthfulness. This is probably, where I struggle with truthfulness, being 100% truthful, 100% of the time, the most. And so I thought it'd be great just to talk to you from where that occurs. But before we get into those thoughts, let's read the passage for today, Matthew 5, starting in verse 33. It says, "Again you have heard it was said to people long ago, 'Do not break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you have made.' But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by God's throne or by the earth, which is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king, or even by your own head, for you can't even make one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one." So when I read this, where Jesus basically is forbidding oaths or vows, it begs the question, is it because they are inherently wrong or evil? And I think the scripture answers that. No. I mean, in the law, there were ways that you could do an oath that were godly. He laid it out, the process, that you could do that. So what's wrong with them? Well, like most of the law, it can be manipulated. I mean, people can do things kind of at face value, but ultimately it doesn't change their heart, who they are. And oaths are really, at the end of the day, evidence that lies exist. Without lies, there would be no need for oaths. They create this hierarchy of truth, where most of the time you could say I'm telling the truth, but it's when I really vow to you that 100% truth is guaranteed. But like I said, that's easily manipulated. In fact, just the presence of an oath or a vow, to me, creates doubt. If somebody comes to me and goes, "Hey, Brad, I swear to you on the Bible, on my grandma's head, on my son's head, that this is true," I immediately question the truthfulness. And it's because of history of manipulation. People trying to distort the truth by using vows that were created to make certain of truth. And so what Jesus is doing is he's trying to eliminate or destroy lies by taking away the cover or shelter of oaths. He's taking the hierarchy of truth and smashing it down and saying everything you do should be truthful. You no longer have the cover of a vow or the necessity of a vow to be truthful. You are to be truthful 100% of the time with everything you do. Why is that so important to Jesus? Why is the truth so important to Jesus? Well, what does he say about himself? I am the truth. And he knows that truth and lies can't coexist. And he wants relationship with us. He's called us to be his disciples. And in order to do so, lies must be stripped away, because truth and lies cannot coexist. If we're a disciple and we're following Christ, who is truth, we need to embody and exemplify the truth that he was. That's why it's so critical to Christ. And ultimately, what he's telling us as disciples is that real truthfulness is following the truth no matter where it leads. Following the truth no matter where it leads. And that's scary. It's particularly scary here at work, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Why? Well, because it could impact our livelihood. I mean, ultimately, if things go wrong here, I need to start thinking about family and how we're going to make payments. And it impacts our livelihood. And that sometimes is cover for us to distort the truth. And how do we do it? How do I do it? It's typically not a bold-faced lie. I mean, I don't come into a meeting and say the results were 7 million when they were 3 million. Because I'm going to get caught. I mean, that's obvious. I'll get wrapped up in that and I'll eventually get found out. But the way I lie, the way I distort the truth, is I speak vaguely or in terms that influence the person who's listening in a way that I want them to, kind of hear a certain message. That plays out when I might talk about something in a way where I get more credit than I'm due. Or I might emphasize all the positive and people not understand the underlying negative things and the consequences that might happen with those negative things. It's so that people see me in a better light. It's so that people look to me and think about me higher than maybe they should. It's manipulating the truth. And Christ is saying that is not discipleship. Because with discipleship, you're 100% truthful 100% of the time. You follow the truth no matter where it leads. And, truthfulness really starts with your relationship with God. And then manifests itself in your relationship with people. So I think for us to create that momentum, for us to jumpstart discipleship truthfulness, discipleship level truthfulness, we need to get our relationship with God right. It sounds so dumb to even say that. We know He sees everything, hears everything, knows everything, but yet we still compartmentalize our life before Him. And so we need to get truthful or transparent, a word that I love, with God, and then see how it plays out in the rest of our life. How do we do that? You know what I'm going to say. I mentioned it a couple times in class. A wonderful way. I've experienced it. A wonderful way to kickstart that momentum, to get that snowball rolling down the hill, is to pray naked, to be totally vulnerable before God, to be totally transparent before God. No, not even clothes in your way. And talk to Him about what you struggle with. Ask Him for His help, for His power, to help so that you can overcome them. Surrender those things to Him. And then see what happens. If you get serious about being transparent with God, see how that influences your relationship with your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, fellow believers, strangers. Because when we're 100% truthful with God, it makes being 100% truthful with others a lot easier. So I challenge you, challenge myself. Let's be truthful the way Jesus wants us to be, the way Jesus was, as we draw closer to Him and as we follow Him as disciples. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.